Christmas!
And welcome back to
The Zak
and Buzz
Review!
Okay, so today it is the 25th of December 2023 and we watched the next Doctor Who's Christmas special, which was The Church on Ruby Road. What do we think?
What do we think? Mixed on this one.
Mixed. I mean...
I made sure my phone was off.
Yeah.
And I didn't kind of look at any social media until I came off. And there's a big divide. There's loads of people saying they loved it, blah, 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 blah. But there was also quite a few people on there saying, oh, this destroys classic Who.
That's a bit of a overreaction. Yeah.
I think what I want to start with is to say classic Who and new Who finished with David Tennant having tea in Donna Noble's back garden.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of the line of that Doctor.
I mean, to be honest...
And he's in retirement.
Yeah.
This is a completely new Doctor with the old Doctor's memories, yes, but we're looking at a whole new Doctor Who.
A whole new line of Doctor Who, I guess, yeah.
So it's unfair, I think, totally unfair to kind of compare this new Rainbow Who, as it's being called, to anything that's come before it.
Yeah.
It's Doctor Who, but it's for a whole new audience and for a whole new... I mean, not necessarily a whole new audience, because, you know, I date back to the 70s, you know, so... And I'm watching it, but what we got to review it on is it.
Yeah.
In its singularity.
Now, what I would like to say is we have had, like, extended trailers and things leading up to it.
Certainly.
And what is blatantly clear to me is the fact that everything that interesting that actually happened in the episode was in those trailers.
We basically watched everything in the trailer.
Yeah, it was. We just watched the trailer, but it was really
slightly
long.
extended.
Yeah.
The characters in it, I found kind of just accepted everything that was happening too easily. It wasn't like, ooh, you know, this is odd. I'm just gonna climb up a ladder into a cloud.
I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, but I didn't love it. To be honest, it kind of felt like a hollow shell of a story, like it didn't really know what it wanted to do, and to be honest, it kind of felt like a filler episode.
Yeah.
And they do the big whole thing about the companion walking into the TARDIS again. I'm like, we've already seen this in like the last special.
Did you notice the continuity issue with that?
Continuity issue?
With the TARDIS. The TARDIS was parked right on the curb of a road.
Yeah.
And that was fine. And then at one point, just before, when the Doctor goes back and sees Anita Dobson, who's playing the character of the old lady next door.
Who did the wink at the end.
I actually didn't like that. Breaking the fourth wall to the viewers.
Well, they've done it in Doctor Who before.
Yeah, but it's just, you know. Well, anyway, the fact was, the continuity area, if you go back and watch it again, when he goes to the TARDIS, loads of autumn leaves were around the bottom of the TARDIS. Tons.
Yeah.
Somebody, you know, some of the crew had been out there with a wheelbarrow and sticking. When Ruby goes out there 2 seconds later, and when the goes in and the TARDIS dematerialises, all gone. No leaves.
Yeah.
So there was little continuity errors.
So talking about that, what did we actually think of Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor?
Totally different Doctor. Totally different character. He's dancing. He's having a Christmas.
I kind of feel like
a Christmas sing-song.
He's now had
he did a musical number, you know,
which I found a bit kind of weird. It was obviously a distraction tactic, but.
Yeah, but it's a new Doctor for a good kind of a new audience, a new age.
I get why they've chosen him for it and things, but to be honest, you know, I'm still warming up.
Yeah, I think
to Ncuti Gatwa.
I think the fact is, it would be harsh to judge him on his first appearance as the Doctor. We need to get.
He needs to face a more threatening enemy.
Yeah,
really, he needs to face something a bit more.
There was a little reference in there though, for the, dare I say it, the timeless child, because he did say he was an orphan. Yeah,
but again, there's that line in the Giggle, the previous story, which explains that all away.
You know, well,
Doctor,
tell that to the fans.
Do you like the way I made a jigsaw of your history? I hope you liked it.
Tell that to the fans, because there's a lot of...
That is very mixed. And the idea behind that is the fact that whatever's that you think is canon is canon. Yeah. There is no right answer.
I kind of think that...
Depends what you think. You can discuss it as much as you like.
Yeah, I think unlike certain shows, I mean, we discussed this with... We love Red Dwarf, for example. Red Dwarf, you don't get this arguing amongst fans. Red Dwarf is Red Dwarf from start to finish, and it just goes...
It's just fun.
Everything's canon, everything's fun. Doesn't matter. They fix everything within the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Doctor Who has become so convoluted.
And diverse.
You know,
Like,
literally
divisive
there was
is the word.
somebody posted up on one of the big Who forums on social media a couple of days ago, because it's Christmas. What's your favourite Doctor Who Christmas episode? The reason I mentioned that is, for me, back in I think it's 1978, the Ribos operation.
Yeah,
you see,
classic.
not Christmas. It came out in September, but it's very Christmassy. It's the snow, and Romana's got the big Snow Queen outfit on, which I think also got worn by Servalan
In Blake 7.
In Blake 7.
Wow.
But anyway, that's really Christmassy, you see.
It feels Christmassy. It's very kind of feels warm in like a cold setting.
That's right. But
obviously the Christmas like specials obviously came a lot later with David Tennant and stuff like that. And it's kind of nice that we've gone back to that, and they haven't really made a big thing out of the Christmas thing in this particular story.
Well,
whereas with the Matt Smith ones and later on, they made it had to be Christmas.
Well, yeah, true, but
100%.
It was Christmas. It was her birthday. It's when she was found.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Christmas in your face everywhere.
No, that's right. But it's just a totally different feel. You know, so well, the reason I bring up the Ribos operation is because he says that he's 700 and something years old in that. And I literally watched it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And now he's a billion years old.
Infinitely
old, and he is that timeless child character. So when it comes to the
based upon whatever you think is canon.
So when it comes to canon with Who, it's just all over the place.
It's a mess. As David Tennant says, it's a big ball of timey-wimey stuff.
And it's a mess. And you could argue till you're blue in the face these days.
You're never going to get a solid answer to these questions.
So I'm going to ignore that.
Yeah.
And we're just looking at this whole new era of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
As being that. It's a whole new era. And judge it for what it is, not trying to connect it up.
Yeah.
And
trying to cross-comparison.
Yeah, that's never going to work. It's just not going to work. So let's forget that, guys, and let's just see it for what it is.
For what it is.
So for this show, it wasn't outstanding. I wanted it to be outstanding, but it wasn't.
I wanted it to like really kickstart a new kind of series.
Money was spent on it because obviously we had the kind of labyrinth style goblins which was also very reminiscent a bit of Lord of the Rings with the Goblin King in that scene where you got the dwarfs down in the
and obviously you obviously had that Goblin song that was doing the rounds on Facebook and things.
Well, as you said that earlier, it's just the big,
and that was the trailer.
It was the trailer, which was a shame because it was a shame they actually released such a big thing for the trailer.
Yeah.
But for me, another point was, yes, let's introduce the new sonic screwdriver.
Oh, of course.
But we're back to using the sonic screwdriver
for everything.
To get everything fixed.
Jodie Whittaker, like
it's the first show, guys. By all means, get it out at the end or get it out once. But it's kind of like
that could have been the new reveal at the end of this story. Could have been the new sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, and again, people.
But it's now.
It's my sonic. Remote control.
It kind of reminds me a lot of the Sixth Doctor's Sonic Lance when he had that in Attack of the Cybermen. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he did kill a Cyberman with that, and they're never going to do that in New Who.
But it was a little overused in just the first episode. You know.
He's obviously he's a new Doctor, I'm not going to like judge him from the small amount we've actually seen.
Yeah.
He's not my favourite, but. He could be worse.
I mean,
he could be a lot worse.
And again, the rope language and the mention of magic, etc.
And coincidence.
And him saying that it was like a different science. That was kind of reminiscent to...
Trying to kind of make sense of that.
Yeah, that was kind of reminiscent for me of Sarah Jane Adventures, where... I can't remember, do you remember the episode where the guy was using astrology?
Oh, the stars one.
And it was a very ancient science, but presented itself as magic. It had that kind of feel to it.
Right,
but if you hadn't seen that, you wouldn't make the connection.
Concept-wise, that was kind of the most interesting thing about it, but it didn't make enough sense to really shine through above everything else. It kind of looked like the Doctor was kind of trying to piece this new logic together. Yeah. And to undo the master knot in the ship. And, and that... I like... It's Who. It's fantasy. I liked the being impaled on the spire. I thought that was quite brave.
Yeah, because I kind of thought, well, a lot of people wouldn't want to see that these days. Yeah, but I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they kept that in. And to be honest, I like the fact that they did. I thought,
did the Goblin King actually say any audible words.
No.
You know? No, it's a shame that because they could have done a little skit on Hot Fuzz on that one.
Yeah.
Well, he could have gone. It really hurt. I want some ice cream.
That was the thing.
Can I have some ice cream?
For me, it kind of felt like these goblin characters could have just been anything. It was insert monster here.
Well, it
vibes.
was goblins with Santa hats on. It's Christmas.
Yeah, that.
You know, it's for the kids. It's for the adults.
Kind of like if Grogu went bad.
Grogu.
Like halfway between Gremlins and Baby Yoda.
Oh, Baby Yoda, right. Oh, that, yeah, Grogu, I get what you mean now.
We're not going to bring up that debate.
No. It is the way. Anyway, so, yeah, it's an interesting episode. It's the first episode. It was meant to be a Christmas special. Certainly Christmassy. It was Ruby's birthday. It had snow.
Could have been a lot worse. It was all right, but not amazing.
We still don't know who... I'm sure he commented that they didn't know what Ruby's mother's name was until... he went back there at the beginning of the. We'll have to watch the episode again.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was a reference to nobody knew what Ruby's mother's name was until he went back, but we still didn't find out.
Yeah.
So kind of that's.
I did kind of find it a bit hard, like see these goblins doing all these trickery, coincidence attack.
Poor old
things.
Davina McCall.
But how did no one see these things wandering around?
Yes.
I mean, they're not.
Have you ever been on a
tiny.
television set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have a nightmare if that
Have a
happened.
nightmare. They tie themselves up in all the cables from everywhere.
Oh.
The first AD would be on them all the time.
One more mention.
Yep.
Mavity.
Mavity, there was a mention of Mavity, so
Yeah,
that's still happening.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
The human timeline has been twisted a little bit.
Yeah, by that whole
By the
instance
whole
with
episode with the apple tree.
with the apple tree and Isaac Newton,
Yeah.
which is still a reference to the Fourth Doctor.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, well, actually, that was David Tennant's Doctor, so that was.
We're talking continuity now. It's-
Continuity, out the window. Who cares? Look, watch it for what it is. Wasn't a brilliant episode in my opinion. It was watchable, and I'm going to watch the next one when the new series starts.
Yeah.
And we're going to come back and review those. So yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. It was just totally different.
I'm gonna go kind of wibbly, thumbs in the middle, kind of unsure.
It was kind of, I'll still give it a thumbs up. It was kind of odd having the Disco Doctor.
Yeah.
He likes obviously to wear the chestless bit with his medallion, you know, this kind of Saturday Night
Well,
Fever
that was the thing.
kind of thing.
Like we obviously had the 3 specials before, and they had their own kind of like wave of controversy surrounding them. Whereas this kind of felt almost like just a safe episode. Not that much to really criticise too much about.
So, what do you think the Doctor's actual costume is? Because at the beginning, he's in I think it was a yellow vest, wasn't it? And he's a kilt and a small leather jacket. Then he comes into a long leather jacket.
The brown one.
Yeah, where then he has kind of like a striped cardigan waistcoat on or something.
Yeah,
But I'm sure that changed by the end.
Yeah. And I mean, he had the kilt as well.
Yeah, so his costume's already sort of not
Jumping.
fixed.
Well, yeah, that's very much the thing, and I think they're going to change it every single one as his thing, if that makes sense.
Obviously, we've seen the new Doctor with the blue pinstripe
blue outfit,
suit.
yeah. How does he grow the hair? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, how does his hair sort of, suddenly go into an afro? I don't know. Yeah. Mind you, we actually have said that because back in the Key to Time episodes, Romana at the end, isn't it, where Romana changes?
Oh no, that's the next story. That's Destiny of the Daleks.
Right. Okay, but because the Romana regenerates.
Yeah.
But then she sort of like goes in and out of the TARDIS closet.
A room in the TARDIS.
And changes her look.
Yeah.
Several times to decide what she wants to look like. So, maybe it is possible for Time Lords to.
Well, let's see.
Who knows? I wish I could.
What do you think of that lady at the end with the wink?
What do you
Anita
think? Dobson. Well, again,
is that something that's going to come back, or is that just kind of a false lead?
She acted as if, what is this thing that you've stuck in front of my house to the neighbour? You hated me for so long. So obviously she's been a resident there for so long. But then it disappeared, and it's the old. Have you not seen a TARDIS before?
Well, that was the thing.
So,
she didn't recognise it to begin with, and then did at the end.
Yeah, so that's just leaving a little
it's open speculation here.
it's maybe speculation.
Do you reckon?
Will
Could
we-
she be a Time Lord?
Will
Maybe.
we see Anita Dobson
Would,
again?
would she be like the Rani or something?
I've no idea.
She's not going to be the Master. No way.
No, too soon for the Master's return.
Well, they just came with a little
It's
tooth
a tooth
thing.
Who
knows?
Who's got the red nail varnish?
It is an open book now. It can
Anyway.
be anything. It can be anything.
Anyway, it's Christmas. We wish you all, from Zak Wylde Productions,
Yes, we do.
and the Zak and Buzz review, a very, very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, one and all.
And have a prosperous New Year. And may all the best of your past be the worst of your future.
Look forward to all our upcoming videos we
Oh.
have for you.
Yeah, we got
also
tons.
including Turbo.
Turbo Man!
It's
Turbo time! He said it! Yay! See you soon, guys!
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below any suggestions of further reviews you'd like to see.
Ho, ho, ho!